Hey everyone, my name is Ryan and I am a man with lupus. I've been absent here for a couple of months on the channel and I really apologize for that. That definitely is not how I want the channel to operate. But unfortunately, I have been very sick since the beginning of December. And I believe I've put out a video since that point in time when I had just a little break in how I was feeling. But the reality is, since about December 5th or so, I have been terribly ill with a whole myriad of different ailments and sicknesses, and so that's what's kept me from putting out content. But what I wanted to talk about in today's video is what happens to me when I start to get sick with a flu or a cold or whatever that might be as somebody who suffers with lupus. So let's go ahead and get right into the video. Like I said, I've been getting sick a lot. I have been essentially sick for about 3 months straight, maybe even a little over 3 months. The first thing that happened to me was I had COVID. I then had strep throat. I then had a sinus infection. I then got a stomach bug, which had me vomiting a lot for about a week. I then had a second stomach bug, which had everything going out the backside for about a week. I had I don't remember if I said sinus or ear. I had the other infection, so I had one sinus, one ear infection. And then the same out the back stomach bug that I had, I picked up either again or something very similar to that. And each of these things lasted me a week to 10 days. And a couple of the stomach bugs were like a couple weeks that they lasted. Now, this video isn't really about the flu or the stomach bugs. This video is about what happens to my lupus when I get sick. Because I'm noticing some patterns, and I'm hoping that maybe you guys have some of the same experiences and you can talk about them down in the comments and let me know if this is something you experience as well. But for me, for many years, it was very confusing because out of the blue, I would all of a sudden just start to hurt terribly. And I already hurt very bad all day, every day, but I'm talking debilitating pain. I'm talking pain where I can't even have a conversation with you. I'm just sitting holding whatever is aching the worst at the moment and just trying to make it through my day. What I've been noticing, the patterns that I've been noticing is that when I pick up something, like let's say COVID, because this COVID experience was one of the biggest and most intense experiences I've had related to this. But I tend to get a bunch of pain when I pick up a bug. I'm assuming this is when I actually am infected with the bug and not when I start to get sick from the bug. So it's like the introduction of this sickness into my body recognizes and it sends my autoimmune system into overdrive. And when my autoimmune system is in overdrive, it then begins attacking myself as well. It begins to attack my own healthy cells as well. And so when this COVID bug enters into my body says, oh no, COVID, let's get it. It ramps up and it attacks the COVID. But on top of that, it attacks the rest of my body as well. And so even though I'm not yet having the symptoms of the sickness, my lupus flares out of control. And the biggest problem that I'm having is that I sink into a horrendous depression at 100 miles an hour, right here, right now, immediately. Yes, I get pain. That's probably the very first symptom is I have extra pain on top of what I'm used to. And then within a day or so, I start to notice I have these thoughts that are depressing. They are just, I shouldn't say depressing, they are depressed thoughts. And it will continue to slump to a point where I am, it's embarrassing to even say, but I am borderline hysterical. I mean, bawling my eyes out for weeks. This can be 2 weeks on end, every day, all day, 24 hours a day, the entire time. And it's like I am just hyper-focused and and sunk on this depression piece. The pain is horrible, of course. I tend to get migraines. I tend to get very nauseous. Nausea is a huge issue that I'm dealing with on an every single day basis, almost all day long. But when I get sick or when this lupus flare is happening, that nausea goes into hyperdrive, and I don't always throw up. I just feel like I am about to throw up at any second. There's times where I've even tried to make myself throw up so I could just feel better, and I couldn't get myself to throw up, yet I have this nauseous feeling. It's terrible. But the real big issue that I notice is, like I said, the fact that I go into an extremely deep depression. And for me, I'm really starting to correlate my lupus flares with this depression. Now, that's going to be a topic for another video because I'm starting to see a neurologist, and we've got some MRIs in the works, and we're going to be doing some different tests and things. But I just wanted to make clear that that is one of the biggest symptoms that comes up. And I'm correlating that with my lupus. It's becoming a very obvious thing that the more my lupus flares, the more my depression presents itself. And so that has me wondering if I possibly have neuropsychiatric lupus, where my brain is being affected in the way people's kidneys do when they have lupus nephritis. It's just very focused on the kidneys, and so they're being damaged. And I'm wondering if my lupus is focusing on my brain and thus causing swelling, inflammation, and it's triggering this depression. Because in my normal everyday life, especially prior to lupus, I am a happy-go-lucky, funny guy, who is driven, motivated. I mean, I've had many successful businesses. I have great relationships. And then out of nowhere, wham, it just takes me over, and it's horrible. Another example of this would be when I got the stomach bug. This was maybe a month and a half after I had picked up COVID, but I got this really bad stomach bug. And out of the blue, no idea why or where, I woke up and I couldn't stand up. My feet were on fire. My ankles hurt so bad it felt like they were going to buckle. My knees were throbbing, my hips, my lower back, my middle back, my neck, my shoulders, elbows, wrists, hands, all of it was just terrible. I've had to get a rubber ring because I can't fit my rings on my fingers anymore. I mean, the flaring and the swelling in my body is just insane. But again, I had, out of the blue, a horrendous lupus flare. And within 2 days of this lupus flare, I have the other symptoms of being sick. And I know it was a bug because the rest of my family ended up getting the bug. They did not have the symptoms that I had that I relate to my lupus. And so every time that I get sick, I am noticing that it sends my lupus into an absolute intense flare, and it wreaks havoc across my body. Number one, this makes my lupus more miserable than it already is. And number two, it makes healing from the bug very difficult. Number one, I'm sick, I can't eat, I can't drink, I can't take in nutrition, I am laying around, I'm not up and about. My lupus dictates that I can't go out into the sun, I can't really take vitamin C, it's like I'm stuck in this perpetual state of you need to keep your immune system suppressed and inactive, and then I'm sick and I need my immune system to get me out of it. But when my immune system gets me out of it, it sends my lupus into a flare, and then the spiral just continues. And so, yeah, the story today that I wanted to pass along to you and ask you if you have the same experience is relative to that. So let me pose this question to you guys before we finish up the video. Have you noticed, as somebody who suffers with lupus, that when you get sick with another illness, that your lupus flares out of control? Because that is the question that I'm wondering. That is the conclusion I am coming to with my own lupus, and kind of what I'm starting to pick up from other people now in the community. So guys, again, I'm sorry that the videos had a little break in between them. I have just been so sick that I couldn't even present myself appropriately. So Please don't forget to jump down below and hit that subscribe button. Jump in the comments section, answer the questions from the video today, but also let me know if there's any topics you'd like me to cover. And we'll be back with another video very, very soon. So again, my name's Ryan. I'm a man with lupus, and I'll see you in the next video.